being always born or having come into the world or being in existence in reality is not always everything, because being born and having come into the existence into the world means also the capacity to suffer from and struggle with all the possible and worst case scenarios and probable unimaginable evils, from basically pain, hard work, tragedy, loss, misery, betrayal, war, famine, injustice, unemployment, poverty, etc. All those possible, impossible, thinkable, or unthinkable evils had to be conquered and confronted with. We are going to be confronted, acknowledged with all the evils and not just all the goods. And that means the people who were never really born, who never came into existence, are not only good, they might also be better, because they obviously could at least prevent this unnecessary, unwanted, undesirable, and unconstructed kind of suffering, tragedy, paradox, misery, unhappiness, loss, to which we're always introduced, to which we're always confronted with at every day, at every step of the way, in one way or another. We cannot escape any of this because we are living. And for as long as we're alive and we don't die, we will continue to have to suffer from misery, chaos, heartbreak, either because of our own actions or because of external evil, outside circumstances, because of governments created and artificially manufactured injustice, inequality, poverty, unemployment, discrimination, partiality, and many other unimaginable, unthinkable evils have been brought into existence, obviously by mankind, because mankind essentially is more evil than it ever could be good, because we are less good and more dangerous and evil and bad in our actions, behavior, habits, because of our greed, because of avarice, desire, temptation, which we can neither control nor moderate nor discipline, because we don't have temperance, modesty, moderation, patience, control in ourselves anymore. And because of this, not being born, or basically having not born, not to be born, is the best thing of all time. And just as pessimism prevents unnecessary suffering, just as being pessimist in our lives can always lead to the prevention and alleviation of all the worst case scenarios, of all the basically unnecessary, unwanted suffering, misery, tragedy into our lives. But optimism certainly will introduce us to all the suffering sufferable, and not being born is the best plan of all sometimes, because we don't have to face poverty, crisis, injustice, loss, tragedy anyways. But being in existence, being born, means also being introduced to all the unconditioned, unwanted evils that we have never really thought about or wanted, asked for in the first place.